We welcome you live to Atlanta Motor Speedway, where 42 NASCAR Busch Grand National chauffeurs are set to do battle for 300 miles on the high banks here in Hampton. The Busch Grand National Series is considered arguably the most competitive of the 11 touring divisions of NASCAR. Last week's scramble at Richmond was a prime example. Jeff Burton snaked his way through heavy traffic to climb from 41st to 1st in 61 laps. Yeah, the fans were delighted, and so was Jeff's wife, Kim. But worn tires caused him to slip, coming for the white flag. Keller took the lead. One lap later, it would be Jason Keller who would slide up. Mark Martin takes the lead in the win, but the melee breaks out behind him. Yes, tempers were flaring both on the racetrack and off. That's indicative of the intensity in this series. March Madness motorsport style continues today at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Here at this track, and particularly in this series, the unexpected is almost commonplace.
This is one of the toughest tracks the Busch Series races on all year long. Experience is critical to a good qualifying run. For example, Todd Bodine has 9 wins in this series. He used that experience to get him 9th on the starting grid. Dale Jarrett has 11 career wins in the Busch Series. He was also fastest in final practice, but he broke a motor in final practice. They changed motors. He starts 7th. Jeff Green has 95 starts in the Busch Series. He was 4th in points in 1996. He starts 5th. Eldon Sawyer has 248 starts in the Busch Series. He was 9th in points in 1995. He will start 3rd today. And as for experience, the guy on the pole has very little. Tim Bender has just 12 career starts. His best finish this season, 26th. His best career finish in the Busch Series is 18th. He does have 11 world snowmobiling titles. Normally, that's a benefit when you come to Atlanta in the spring. But he didn't need it here. He put his Crafts car on the pole. Little experience, but his first pole. Outside of him is Elliott Sadler, another guy making his first trip around this Atlanta track. This field today, it looks a lot like that Saturday morning aerobics class. Early on, a lot of fresh and excited faces and a lot of pretty colors. But as the day goes along, some get tired, some fall out. And at the end, only the strong are left standing. That's exactly what you'll see here today.
Under beautiful sunny skies, we welcome you to the high banks of Hampton. Yes, we're at Atlanta Motor Speedway, site of today's NASCAR Busch Grand National Series STIHL Outdoor Power Tools 300. After 3 stops on the 30-race $10 million tour, the points are thus. Todd Bodine just 25 behind Randy LaJoie. And for the first time in NASCAR history, after 3 races, only one Winston Cup regular, that Mark Martin in the top 10. Hello, everyone. I'm Jerry Punch, along with Ned Jarrett and Benny Parsons. You know, we talk about the fact that the ARCA Series you saw running here yesterday is a stepping stone into the Busch Grand National ranks. But what better place than here to Atlanta to show you how the Busch Series has become a stepping stone into Winston Cup. There have been 5 previous Busch races run here going back to 1992. Jeff Gordon, the first winner. Every one of those winners, Harry Gann, of course, is retired since then, but every one of those winners a current regular in Winston Cup racing. That's how important it is to win here. And Benny Parsons, it wasn't always that way where the Busch Series guys made that step.
No, it really wasn't. Back in the mid-'80s, if a NASCAR Winston Cup owner was looking for a driver, he would go to ASA, the modified ranks, all over the country trying to find that driver. 6 years ago, Jerry, the Atlanta Motor Speedway and several other racetracks, Talladega, Michigan, started using the NASCAR Busch Series as a support event on Saturday. Since then, since those drivers started getting that experience at these racetracks, the racetracks that the Winston Cup cars run on, since then, a NASCAR Winston Cup owner goes one place and one place only, looking for that new driver to the NASCAR Busch Series.
Well, Ned, why is it that when a driver wins here at Atlanta, he automatically becomes a hot commodity for a Winston Cup owner?
This is a tough racetrack, Jerry. It's a driver's racetrack. Each turn takes up a half a mile. These Busch cars actually run through the turns faster here than the Winston Cup cars do. And if you know how to get your car set up so that you can run through those turns fast and also drive it so that you don't abuse the tires and abuse the car, then you're going to excel here. And a driver that can do that gets the attention of the car owners.
Well, we get a driver right now who's going to excel as a pit announcer. Kyle Petty standing by to talk about some of the experienced guys in the field.
Well, 2 drivers with tons of experience here in Atlanta are Jeff Burton and Mark Martin. They start 12th and 13th respectively. They both drive Roush Racing Fords. They were both right dead in the middle of everything that happened at Richmond last week, with Mark coming out a winner. Now, they've got a lot of experience to draw back on here. Mark Martin has led every single Busch race that they've had here at Atlanta. Had a shot at winning the race last year. It came down to a fuel mileage thing where he pitted, the caution came out, he ends up a lap down, Terry Labonte goes on to win the race. These two guys have Roush Racing behind them. Look for these two Roush Racing Fords to be in contention at the end of the day when it comes down to the checkered flag.
Now, Kyle, talking about Terry Labonte, here he is, the Winston Cup champ, the defending race champ, all the way back here in 36th, and I can tell you why. When he went to qualify, they had too much tape on the grill, so his car wouldn't handle. So they made that change, and now Terry has to make his way to the front of the field. How about some other guys back in the pack? Bill Parsons has 3 straight top 10 finishes and runs extremely well at this track, but he didn't have a great qualifying run either. Still, Bill will try and make his way forward from the 26th starting spot. He's third in points. The man he's chasing in the points, Randy LaJoie. First, third, and 8th this season, but 27th, 7th, and 28th here at Atlanta.
All right, the field of 42 begins to roll as we get set for 300 miles, 197 laps of racing action. When we come back, we'll take a look at our Suzuki starting lineup. Stay with us.
Speed World coverage of the STIHL Outdoor Power Tools 300 is being brought to you by Quaker State Motor Oil for a clean running engine, by Daytona USA, the ultimate motorsports attraction, and by Suzuki. Your Suzuki motorcycle and ATV dealer has the ride you've been waiting for and the financing to get it. Let's take a look at our Suzuki starting grid. 42 cars will start, led by 39-year-old Tim Bender, former snowmobile champion, his first ever Busch Series pole. He is flanked with another young driver, 21-year-old Elliott Sadler, a phenomenal young talent, youth at the front of the field.
Back in row 2, Elton Sawyer, and also the veteran Dick Trickle.
Row 3, we have Jeff Green and Ron Barfield.
A lot of experience, Dale Jarrett and Joe Nemechek in row 4. Back in row 5, Todd Bodine and Bobby Labonte. Row 6
is Mark Green, the brother of David and Jeff Burton, the car that just dominated last week. Row 7 is Mark Martin and Steve Park. He will go to a backup car today.
And row 8, we find Johnny Chapman, good qualifying run, Buckshot Jones. And in row 9, Glenn Allen Jr. and Jimmy Foster, also a rookie with a great qualifying run.
Row 10, Michael Waltrip and former Rookie of the Year Jeff Fuller. Back in row 11, Dale Fishline coming on strong in Busch ranks, and Lyndon Amick, a rookie driver at 19 years of age.
Row 12, the points leader, Randy LaJoie and Shane Hall, a rookie. Back in row 13, Mike McLaughlin and Phil Parsons, fastest car in the second round.
Row 14, Dennis Setzer and Stevie Reeves. And row 15, we find Mike Wallace and Rick Wilson back in NASCAR competition.
Back in row 16, Mike Dillon and Kevin LePage. Watch for him to make a move in a hurry. Row 17 on the field showing Jason Keller, who came so close last week, and Joe Bessie, who won the ARCA race here back in November.
Row 18, Tim Fedewa and Terry Labonte. Row 19, Doug Reed III and Stanton Barrett. And in row 20 is Jeff Purvis, Tracy Leslie, couple of provisionals. And in the 21st row, the other two is Hermie Sadler and Rodney Combs.
Okay, missed the field among those not qualifying. Doug Hevron, Kyle Petty, Loy Allen Jr., Jeff McClure, and Greg Sachs. Those are the cars that did not qualify.
And set for green flag as the cars get ready. On-board cameras today. We've got 3 of them.
Randy LaJoie starting back in 23rd spot, the defending series champion. Joe Nemechek starts 8th in his Chevrolet. And Stevie Reeves in a Ford back in 28th starting spot. Glad to have you with us. 300 miles, 197 laps of action from Atlanta Motor Speedway. A move underneath Tim Bender, and he will have the lead in turn 3.
Well, that experience went out for Elton Sawyer. You got a good run. Off turn 2.
Cars
go 2 by 2, trying to find the perfect line around this tough racetrack. Ned Jerry talked about it. These turns are 1/2 mile long. The straightaways only 1/4 mile long. There's our pole sitter, the 17 car, Tim Bender, the outside pole sitter, the 29 car. But unfortunately, now they're second and third.
Yeah, Jeff Green now trying to find a place to run down on the inside in the car number 8. As those cars now fan out and get in single file in front of him. Now he's caught down on the inside. Not a bad place to be.
And Dale Jarrett will try to make the move on the outside of Jeff Green. That is Jarrett in the 32 car, the white rain, as they come at you at almost 190 miles an hour.
Awfully fast on this racetrack.
There's Joe Nemechek inside of Ron Barfield. Nemechek in the 87 car. Riding along with the roof cam with Joe, the Precision Gears Chevrolet. Starting back in 8th position.
He takes a look on the inside. That's Ron Barfield. 94 car takes the position.
And look how fast he pulls away. That's Ron Barfield. Bill Elliott on Ford behind it. He's pulled already by about 4 or 5 car lengths.
There's the 37 car. Mark Green, 00, Buckshot Jones.
And there's the champion, the car number 74, the FINA colors of Randy LaJoie. And LaJoie having to snake his way very gingerly through traffic. You heard Bill Weber tell you, 3 good finishes for LaJoie. He's put him once again atop the standings, but he qualified back so far, having to start in 23rd position.
Qualifying was very close for this race, so you didn't have to miss a beat very much to be back far in the field.
Battle for 3rd spot.
Jeff Green gets alongside.
Actually, I guess that's 4th spot. We're watching the battle for 4th. There the battle continues between the 8, Jeff Green, and Bender, the 17. Now there goes Dale Jarrett, the 32 car on the inside, and Joe Nemechek has the Bell South car running very, very well early on.
Dale Jarrett's car number 32. They had an engine problem yesterday. As you look at the rear of the White Rain Ford, and now Nemechek slides up. Dale Jarrett slipped a little bit in the corner. Jarrett was one of the fastest cars in that final Busch Series practice, and yet they broke a rod and had to put a new engine in this morning. So he now being shown in 6th position. And from the Pennzoil Copter Cam, how about these great shots courtesy of the fine folks at Pennzoil and their Copter Cam high above Atlanta Motor Speedway. What a beautiful day for Busch Series racing. 197 laps, 300 miles. Just underway here, and Elton Sawyer is being shown as the leader.
He got himself a good lead when he passed those 2 cars on the first lap. And now, though, Elliott Sadler has chased him down, only a couple of 3 car lengths behind him.
The first laps Elton Sawyer has led since August of 1995 at Indianapolis Raceway Park. So, boy, it's got to feel awfully good to have that Ford up front.
Here's a car that's on the move. That's Mark Martin. Just moved by Joe Nemechek. Martin started back in the 13th position, but now has already moved up into the top 10, in fact, in 8th place.
And 7th, 6th, and 5th is right directly in front of him. Never see Terry Labonte. This is looking out of the back of Stevie Reeves' cars. Mike Wallace tries to go by on the outside, and here comes Terry Labonte right on the inside. Takes a look. Can't pass down the straightaway. Labonte started back at about 35th and is 31st right now.
That's the same car Terry drove to victory lane here last year. I heard Bill Weber tell you by virtue of some pit stops and gas mileage situations, Labonte was maybe the most surprised person here that he was going to victory lane late in that race. That's how it can change so quickly. Now Labonte makes the move underneath Stevie Reeves to take the spot away.
That's Brendan Amick, the rookie, the Goodies Dash champion last year, right in front of Terry Labonte. Tim Fiedler, the 33, Dale Fishline. And Dale Fishline takes up a sponsor from the race sponsor, the STIHL Outdoor Tools Company.
One race deal for Fishline. There's Mark Martin making a move underneath Dale Jarrett. Bobby Labonte, the 44 car. It's a Pontiac. He makes a move with Jarrett. We saw Jarrett a moment ago slip in the corners, and apparently the handling going away on the White Rain Ford as Nemechek now makes a move inside.
His car appears to be very loose, Jerry, as he goes into the turns.
Jeff Burton back there in the yellow car, the track gear car owned by Jack Roush that was so much a factor last week at Richmond. Jarrett has the horsepower of Robert Yates' engine, but in the corner he has to back off. The car is slipping and sliding. He will lose the spot to Jeff Burton and lose another spot.
Todd Bodine, and there comes Jeff Fuller in the 47 car. Also, Michael Waltrip, the Band-Aid car, falls in behind Jarrett.
I think he's just looking for him a good place to run out there. If he could just get a spot where cars were not around him. There's a lot of cars out there, and all of them racing for position, so it'd be hard to find a quiet spot.
We are in the early laps here at Atlanta Motor Speedway in the NASCAR Busch Series STIHL Outdoor Power Tools 300. Elton Sawyer, 37 years of age, has the Barbasol Ford up front. 185 laps remain. Exciting Busch action continues on the high banks here in Hampton. Back in a moment. Speedway, our leader continues to be Elton Sawyer in the Barbasol Aiken Sutton Ford, but the fastest car on the racetrack is this one right here, the Winn-Dixie Ford of Mark Martin. He is coming like a rocket.
But just a couple of laps ago, Mark Martin almost didn't make it through the corner. He's passing Tim Bender. He goes inside it. This is turn 3. He goes inside Bender, and he'll drift up the racetrack right in front of Tim Bender. And Bender gets back on the gas, and Martin can't, and all of a sudden, boom, contact between the two cars, and look as Martin goes up the hill, and there again, that's the experience you're talking about. He saved the race car. Someone else, a lesser driver, might have lost it.
They did a great job of saving it. You can see they touched just a little bit there, touch again, and Bobby Labonte goes by on the inside in the car number 44. But good piece of driving from Mark Martin and Tim Bender. Once he got in that situation, Tim Bender backed off and let him get squared away.
Let's take a look at our NASCAR serial score presented by MCI. Mark Martin on lap 3 was in the 11th spot. He started 13th. Take a look now. Lap 16, 5th position, and moving in a hurry. This car dominated this Busch race a year ago. And on lap 161 of 197, when the caution came out, he was just made his green flag pit stop, and that cost him any shot at winning the race. But clearly the quickest car here last year and thus far today, indeed the quickest.
And that's not unusual. Mark Martin, that Winn-Dixie Ford is strong in every one of these Busch races.
Joe Nemechek, 87 car, built out mobility on the inside of the pole sitter. Timmy Bender on board.
That's the 7th position. Nemechek was 8th. Now he will take the 7th spot away. Well, not cycle quickly. Still door-to-door down in turn 1 as Nemechek opens the door, and Ron Barfield sitting behind him. That's the car number 94. There's Barfield showing an 8th spot.
This racetrack is a little bit slippery down on the inside, and you don't get the angle that you need when you're running on the inside of someone. You don't need the angle that you need. You need to be able to drift up next to the wall, free the car up a little bit, and of course Nemechek's not able to do that with Bender up there on the outside. It's pretty warm here today, and that helps to make the racetrack a little bit slicker.
All right, here's a battle for 3rd position as Jeff Green in the car number 8, driving for Gary Bechtel. His Chevrolet goes past the Duraloop Chevy of Dick Trickle, but look at Mark Martin coming in a hurry, right behind those two.
And here we see another battle between Fuller, Todd Bodine, Randy LaJoy, and Mark Green. And LaJoy started back in 24th spot and is now 15th.
Here's Martin now making that move on the inside of Dick Trickle.
And we can see Martin 170.7 miles per hour, 1 mile per hour faster than the leader of the race, Elton Sawyer.
See Michael Waltrip back there also running 169 miles an hour, so Michael is running good.
Another Winston Cup driver on the move, the defending winner of this race, the car number 5. That's the Bayer Chevrolet of Terry Labonte. He's now in 22nd position. Labonte started way back in 36th. He has gained 14 spots. You see the 10 feet of a car, the Kleenex machine making a move inside of Mike McLaughlin for Chevrolet.
I stopped by this morning and asked Mike, how's it doing? He said, right now, McLaughlin is struggling with Royal car back in 21st spot. You see Rick Wilson. It's good to see Rick back. That's the car directly in front of Terry Labonte, the 75 car.
Driving for Charlie Henderson is Rick Wilson, a former two-time winner.
And here comes Mark Martin. Worked his way up to fourth, and this is
all clear, buddy, all clear.
Battle for third.
Side.
Man, look at him just turn that car under the 8 car and accelerate and come off the car in front. Beautiful job, Mark.
Now, what I was talking about there a moment ago didn't bother him, did it? No. He was able to get the traction he needed off the turn, even though he wasn't able to make the wide angle coming off the turn. He still, that Ford just hooked up and took off.
It's amazing how the spotter says go with him. I'm sure Jeff would love to go with him.
Yeah.
But I'm not going quite as quick as he is. Bobby Labonte there in the car number 44, the Shell Pontiac, trying to make a move inside of Dick Trickle's Duraloop Chevy.
And Labonte will take it away.
Bobby Labonte started back in 10th position. Midway up in the Shell car.
Fourth for this race and also fourth for tomorrow's Prime Star 500 NASCAR Winston Cup race.
Boy, he runs this racetrack so well.
And I tell you what, folks, if you don't have anything to do tomorrow, you ought to jump. If you're in driving distance at Atlanta Motor Speedway, you ought to jump in your car and drive down there. Tickets available here. A lot of seats around this racetrack, and tomorrow shapes up to be a fantastic stock car race.
And it's supposed to be a beautiful day. We're told it's gorgeous here. Has been yesterday, today. The sun is out. I mean, it's just an absolutely perfect afternoon. Shirt sleeve weather. Sit here under the sunny skies and watch NASCAR action. Busch today and Winston Cup tomorrow.
There's the Indy cars. Kevin LePage, sponsored by Hype. There's Jason Keller, the car that was on the last lap, coming off turn 4 with the lead and spun last week. But this week, he is running where, Ned?
24th.
That's a Slim Jim colors of Keller, who came just so close, maybe about 30 yards away from a win. Elton Sawyer enjoying the lead right now, and somewhat of a comfortable lead, but he's got to know by virtue of his radio that Mark Martin is on a tear. Martin in 3rd spot. When we come back, we'll see if Martin can close the gap as our live coverage continues from Atlanta. At Atlanta Motor Speedway, these beautiful aerial shots from high above us here at Hampton, Georgia, courtesy of the Pennzoil Copter Cam. Give us these great shots of exciting Busch Grand National Series action under beautiful sunny skies here at Atlanta. 30 laps are complete of 197, which comprise this 300-mile event. Now, later today, our coverage continues with Happy Hour, that final 60-minute scramble coming up at 3 o'clock, 3:30 Eastern Time on ESPN2. It's the final NASCAR Winston Cup practice that will set the stage. Now, tomorrow, NASCAR Today, live at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN2. And then Bob Jenkins will join us along with Jack Root and our entire crew as we will have live flag-to-flag coverage of the Prime Star 500. That's 1 o'clock Eastern Time, 12 Central and Pacific. That's the Prime Star 500 coming your way tomorrow on ABC Sports.
Back to Mark Martin's saga as he tries to work his way towards the front. There we see the dark black and gold car as he closes in on, is that Dennis Setzer in the 78 car in front of him? Looks like it is, yes. That's Setzer in the 78 as Mark goes by him, puts Setzer a lap down. Right now, Mark Martin is the second place car. He has been able to get by Elliott Sadler and take over second and continues his charge towards the front.
Well, what an impressive performance here in the early laps by Mark Martin. This is the same car. He won 4 of the 6 Busch events he won a year ago in his favorite Busch Series car, owned by Jack Roush. Of course, Jack Roush Motors, Bobby Leslie, the crew chief. I asked Bobby, I said, how could you guys be so mediocre in qualifying, yet you're going to be so good in practice? He said, Doc, we qualified with the race set up on the car, so we're going to run exactly what we ran in qualifying, and when they slow down, we're going to come after them.
And a lot of cars are slowing down out there, Jerry. I've been watching both turns, and there's some cars that are really all over the turns, drifting high. And not many of them are able to keep the cars low on the racetrack like Mark Martin is. He can drive that car just about anywhere he wants to. But so can Elton Sawyer. About to put a lap on Joe Bessie here.
Here's a battle for position. Jeff Burton in the car number 9, jumping into 9th position by our pole sitter, Tim Bender.
And there you see we're giving you a field summary. Check out where your favorite driver may be running in today's race. There's the top 10. Now we'll go back 11 through 15. We'll see who's in the 15th spot.
Phil was second round fastest qualifier yesterday. And was, I think his speed was good enough to have been 8th if he'd done that on the first day qualifying.
Terry from 36th to 20th. He continues to pick them off one at a time.
He's starting 35th. He's up to 22nd.
No Nemechek now looking inside of Dick Trickle. That's Michael Walter Pinto in the Band-Aid Ford. That is for the 6th position. That's 6th, 7th, and 8th on your screen right there. The 87 car of Nemechek now is 6th. Walter is 7th, and Trickle is 8th.
Trying to come back on the inside. The Durley car can't quite do it. Precision Gear sponsoring the onboard camera in Joe Nemechek's car today.
Michael Walter thought about moving up high. Sees Rodney Combs up there. Stays down on the bottom of the racetrack. As you heard Ned Jarrett say early at the top of the show, the Busch Series cars actually run faster through the corners than do the Winston Cup cars. They're 100 pounds lighter, but still, that means they've got to be a handful for these guys on a slick racetrack when it gets warm like this.
Yeah, when those tires get heated up and the racetrack gets a little bit slick, it is a handful for them. And they have to drive so deep into the turns, and we got Stevie Reeves into the pits. Bill Weber?
He just couldn't hang on any longer. He wanted to come in and get some tires. With 38 laps on the board, he's got the right sides on. They're going to come around. There's a 4-tire change for Stevie Reeves and a big wedge adjustment on the right rear. Lift up the left side, pour some tape off the front of the grill. Now tightening the lugs and waiting for Stevie Reeves to get back out there. And he will be very, very quick for the next few laps, so keep your eye on him.
All right, John Barash and company putting 4 tires on the Big A Ford. Let's watch Stevie blend in, and boy, you won't see a difference. He will be quicker than just about anybody out there, maybe with the exception of Mark Martin and Elton Sawyer on these fresh tires.
Yeah, those make a world of difference in your speed. Probably pick him up a second to lap.
Now the cars start going by. Pretty soon, about 4th gear, he'll catch 4th gear. And that 35 car of Lyndon Amos that just went by, in about a half lap, Stevie Reeves will probably be going back by Lyndon Amos.
See the car right behind him. 2 cars away is the leader, and that leader getting ready to go by Shane Hall. That's the car number 85, the Lux Chevy Monte Carlo. There goes the Barbasol machine. Now Stevie Reeves will be the next car right in front of Elton Sawyer, and we'll see how much those new tires help Stevie if they did.
You see Mark Martin closes in on the back of the 85 car. The 3rd place car, the white car, Elliott Sadler, the 29, and Bobby Labonte, the shell car, 4th spot. Look at Elliott nailed around the bottom of the racetrack.
Right down the bottom. That's the sign of a good handling race car if he can do that 41 laps into the race.
Sandy Jones, the crew chief, veteran crew chief for Elliott Sadler, spent a lot of years with Junior Johnson and went over to Rick Hendrick, was with Darrell Waltrip when he won his Winston Cup title back in '85, so he knows a lot about setting these cars up. And take a look who's in the top 10. Randy LaJoie, our point leader in the Big Series champion, has charged from 23rd spot to 10th in 41 laps. Fina Chevrolet Monte Carlo. Talk about Fina. They have 2,700 service stations, but what I didn't know is they have the 2 largest chemical plants in the world and the 2nd largest producer of plastics in the world. I didn't know that. Randy told me in the garage a little bit ago, but so a huge move by LaJoie from 23rd to 10th
make that 9th now. He goes by Trickle. And looking back, Albafina Chevrolet as Trickle and Bender battle side by side.
Setzer car, Mark III Financial Chevrolet. Meanwhile, in front, our leaders are in traffic. The 38 is the leader. That is Sawyer, but Martin is right behind him in heavy traffic in front.
Still Fishline and the 96 car, Stevie Reeves, we saw just a moment ago. And there goes Sawyer.
That's a little surprising, Benny, with Stevie with those new tires on his car that he wouldn't even be able to pull away even from the leader.
Sawyer is very careful, but he can't be too careful because Mark Martin is up to the high side there and will pull even with him.
Here comes Martin. They are side by side, but Sawyer gets around the inside.
Dale Fishline is the car number 70 right in front of Stevie Reeves.
And that's Johnny Chapman, the white car, direct in front of them, is Sherwin Williams' car. And all these cars battling hard, trying to stay in the lead lap. Mark, who do I go with? He's trying to figure out.
From the rear cam of Stevie Reeves' Big A4, you see they are side by side. Those are the two leaders, folks. And now Reeves makes a move by Fishline. That gives Martin the lead.
So he followed the right guy.
Well, Elton Sawyer had led the first 44 laps. Now here on lap 45, it is Mark Martin from 13th to 1st. So the two-time winner thus far in 1997, Mark Martin, who won at Rockingham, did it again last week at Richmond. He is now our new leader in the STIHL Outdoor Power Tools 300. Back with more from Atlanta in a moment. Back at Atlanta Motor Speedway here at Hampton, Georgia. Bill Weber, Kyle Petty, Ned Jarrett, Benny Parsons, Jerry Punch, bringing you live Busch Series action on the NASCAR Busch Series Tour. Mark Martin just joined us, qualified 13th, and he ran Elton Sawyer down and led the first 43 laps. Martin now being shown as our leader.
There you see he's led at least one lap in each of these races, Busch races here in the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Now we go back to the third place battle, and it's a pretty good one between Elliott Sadler, the 29, Bobby Labonte, the 44, and the 8 of Jeff Green.
The 29 and 8 are team cars, both owned by Gary Bechtel. Identical race cars. The 8 car actually is a brand new race car making its debut here in Busch Series competition. 29 car is one of the Bechtel regulars. Elliott Sadler driving the 29 at 21 years of age. Here's first trip ever to Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Okay, bud, got a lot of lap traffic. Be on your toes.
Yes, they got about 5 cars directly in front of them.
I told you Elliott's first trip to Atlanta. That's you just heard his spotter telling him, lap traffic ahead, be on your toes.
He's looking high, he's looking low, he's looking low. Inside, inside. One more. That's Jeff, and you're all clear behind Jeff.
Attaboy, Keith. Keep him abreast what's going on.
Another one looking down there. Still clear. Still clear. Good job, fellas. Just hang on there. Nobody hurt.
Boy, they economize the words, those
Don't worry
spotters,
about
don't
that,
they?
Elliott. You got a big cushion behind you. You got a long way to go. Don't worry about that. We'll get it fixed.
Always encouraging their drivers. They are cheerleaders as Hermie Sadler and Johnny Chapman battle door to door.
And Shane Hall, the 85 car.
Now those cars are one lap down. 29 cars showing on the lead lap now as car number 63 of Tracy Lester has just been lapped.
You saw Hermie a moment ago. Let's check in with Bill Weber.
Well, both Both those cars from Diamond Ridge, the 8 and the 29, are new cars, but Elliott Sadler's goal today is to finish this race with that car still in one piece. He said this morning we tore one up bad last week in Richmond, and he was right. He had an excellent car, but they decided in final practice yesterday to make it a little tight and put a conservative setup in there. Elliott's goal here today is not necessarily to win. It's to get that key experience so next time he comes back, he can challenge for victory. But he has a tighter setup in there, a more conservative approach to today's race.
Elliott currently 9th overall in the point standings. Would like to be able to get a good finish his first trip to Atlanta, but you can tell they're being very, very conservative, as you heard Bill say. One guy who's not being conservative is this car number 5 of Terry Labonte.
Well, he might be, Jerry. Might be being conservative. He's coming towards the front, yes, but he's doing it in a smooth manner, conserving those tires, keeping them as cool as he possibly can, and just picking them off one at a time as he comes up through there.
Our NASCAR serial presented by MCI shows that Terry started back in 36, and here at lap 55, he is now in 17th spot. Cut him in half. And as you said, he's probably taking it easy. I mean, he's coming to the front, but he's not punishing his race car or his tires.
He's a master of that, whether he's in Winston Cup or Busch or whatever type competition he's in. Has a great feel for the race car, the tires, and all the things that help to keep it under.
Mike McLaughlin's car number 34. Fourth time here in Atlanta. That sponsors are here in the Atlanta area.
Some pit stops being made. Car number 4 of Jeff Purvis is in, and so is Jimmy Foster.
And there we see the 21 car going by Jeff Green. He's already passed Elliott Sadler, so let's put Michael Waltrip in the 4th spot. Thank you very much. They're listening to me down the truck. And Jeff Burton, the yellow car. Last week, and we would feel that it's a team car to the Mark Martin car. We'll have similar setup to this in this 9 car, the track gear car that the Winn-Dixie Ford would have.
Jeff Burton started 12th, currently in 7th spot, but the 6th and 5th place cars, the 29 and 8, are right directly in front of him. 60 laps are complete. We ought to be seeing regular pit stops in the next 5 to 7 laps.
In fact, second place car is in the pits right now. Elton Sawyer is in the pits. Let's go to the pits and Kyle.
Elton Sawyer has complained about his car, believe it or not, being a little bit tight. They talked about a right side or talked about a track bar adjustment. They decided against the track bar adjustment. They're going to take a couple of rounds of wedge out. They're going to change 4 tires and send him back out. He's having a tremendous run today. He's having a good stop right here, guys.
Eddie Pardue and company, and they make a slight adjustment. You saw Kyle say, and the left rear took some bite out of Elton Sawyer, so he makes his first pit stop here on lap 61.
And Terry Labonte is in the pits as well.
Barbasol Ford, 55 miles an hour. That's the speed on pit road. You don't want to be penalized here. There's Terry Labonte's Bayer Alka-Seltzer car. As they go to work on that car, make an adjustment in the left rear. Feature Hedlund. And he drops the jacket, smokes the tires, leaving pit road.
That you got to be. It's forcing the tires do smoke, because if they don't, the drive shaft breaks when you try to accelerate off this concrete. See the line on the inside, that is cement, and it is very difficult on drive shafts, gears, transmissions.
Ron Barfield into the pits, Kevin LePage into the pits. These are all scheduled pit stops. I expect, and here comes Jeff Burton down pit road. Some of them might try to go maybe to 100 miles. Let's go to the pits and Bill Wemmer.
Barfield is in. He's getting right side tires. Jeff Burton pulls him right behind him. These should all be 4 tire stops in fuel. We're also expecting Mark Martin to pit in the next lap or so. Barfield getting his left side tires. Fuel is in. Burton's also got his right side. Now they go around to the left side. Clean off the grill. Looks like they might have pulled a piece of tape off the grill to help cool off the engine. Working on the fuel in the left front. The car's down. Burton momentarily has a problem getting away. Then recaptures and continues.
Todd Bodine going out of the pits. Amick in the pits.
Dale Jarrett's been changed 4 tires. The white rank car, he goes back. But meanwhile, Mark Martin says, hey, guys, I love that.
Well, you wonder if maybe he's going to try to go 100 miles. This is a 300-mile race. Looks like it could go green for who knows how long. And so he might be going to just make it on 2 pit
laps. I talked to Bobby Leslie, the crew chief this morning, said we could go actually 80 laps on fuel, but we're concerned a little about the tire wear. The tires are much better than they were before, and now all that conjecture goes away as the Winn-Dixie Ford of Mark Martin comes down pit road on lap 64, 55 miles an hour. He heads down to the attention of Bobby Leslie and the Roush crew.
One thing he couldn't afford to do is stay out there too long with Elton Sawyer with those new tires on. He was going to be running a good bit faster, so he'd find himself behind. Let's go to the pits and middle.
You expect this to be flawless. They go around to the right side and change tires first. There will be no chassis adjustment for Mark. Putting in the Unical gas. The right sides are on. They come around to the left side. Slide the jack underneath. One pump. Now the second pump. The car in the air. As Mark Green rolls by. And now so Bessie. Again, they clean the grill on the Winn-Dixie Ford. Tires are on. Mark's away. 21 and change on Mark Martin's pit stop.
21.8 seconds. There's the Band-Aid crew now. Ronnie Silver and company, the 21 car. Michael Waltrip down and away. Joe Nemechek's Bell South car. Now Nemechek leaves pit road. Just behind Nemechek is Bobby Labonte. That's Nemechek's roof cam, but just behind this car is Bobby Labonte, who was the leader coming down pit road in the Shell Pontiac. There is Bobby Labonte, and looks like there will be a 4-tire change by the Labonte crew. And Sadler is on pit road, and Kyle is there.
I hate to tell you this, Kyle is not there. Okay? Sorry, guys. I don't know where he's at.
Let's go to Bill Weber.
Okay, Elliott Sadler is here, and his teammate is right behind him. 4 tires for Elliott and for Mark Green, working on the left rear. Both cars came in at the same time and leave at the same time. Synchronized pit stops, chased by Herbie Sadler and Jeff Fuller off pit road.
And Jeff Green will win that battle off pit road, and these cars got to stay on in that yellow line, that white line, until they get to the backstretch, and then they can start blending into traffic. There they can move up.
All right, green flag pit stops have taken place. We'll sort out the field as they get back up to speed here. 67 laps complete. Our live coverage from Atlanta Motor Speedway in Hampton, Georgia continues after this. Back at Atlanta Motor Speedway, Mike McLaughlin was the leader. He now slows ahead on the pit road. He had not made his first pit stop under the green yet. The Royal Oak Charcoal Chevy Monte Carlo comes down, expecting him to get 4 tires and fuel. And a moment ago, Phil Parsons was our leader. He had a problem in the pit, started to leave after a routine pit stop. They apparently did not hit the left rear lug nuts tight as McLaughlin jams the brakes on and skitters to a halt in his pits. Let's go down to Bill Weber.
Well, Mike really came in here swift, put on the brakes, and as you mentioned, was stopped. Right side tires are on. Big guy brings the jack around. Now they're running a traffic trying to get by because Mike's on the front left side of that car, almost close to the wall. He almost can't even get the jack handle between the car and the wall. Working on the left side tires. The lug nuts still getting in the fuel. Mike's down, cranks the wheel, steps in the gas, goes back in the race.
Mike McLaughlin, his fourth trip to Atlanta, improving every year. 42nd, 31st, 11th a year ago, hoping to improve, maybe get a top 10 this year.
But he's going from being the leader of the race to being a lap down. And here it looks like Parks has a problem. The car, a little bit of smoke coming from his AC Delco Chevrolet.
And this is unscheduled stop because he just stopped a couple of laps ago for his routine stop, and now he's back on pit road.
This is a backup car, a brand new car. They actually built this car to take to Las Vegas, Bill, but he rolls to a stop in front of you.
Well, they think he has a flat tire. They've come around to the left side, and they're trying to get the jack underneath. He obviously does. They're trying to reach, lift the car up, get the jack underneath. Looks like they're having trouble with the left front. And the fender is pinched down on the tire. They use a drill to wedge it away. Now they're looking underneath. I would imagine they're looking at a shock mount or perhaps a spring, but I can't see from this point of view. Now they lower the hood, pull the fender away from the left front tire. They're going to fasten the hood pins. The car's still up on the jack. Now they set it down. And Steve's going to return to the race. We'll check with Tony Uri and find out what the problem is.
Those kind of things can happen with a brand new race car. He only got a few laps of practice yesterday. Following another car in practice, the car overheated and squirted water out in front of him. His car spun around and tagged the wall in turn 2. They had to roll this brand new backup car out, and only a few laps of practice, maybe something wrong in the left front. Meanwhile, the guy they're chasing is Mark Martin, Winn-Dixie Ford Thunderbird.
top 10. All these cars on the lead lap. Martin, Sawyer, Walter, 3 Fords. Then a Chevrolet and a Pontiac. Nemechek and Bobby Labonte, Jeff Green. There's the 9 car, Jeff Burton, Elliott Sadler, Jeff Fuller, and Randall LaJoy is in 10.
And the 3 car never got up to speed. He's actually so slow coming through turns 3 and 4 on the apron there with Steve Park in the AC Delco. And now we are being told they may have some motor problems. Boy, when it rains and pours, the young man had a great run at Richmond, finishing 3rd last week up there.
Just one of those drivers that would hope to be in contention for the championship. Right now, he's being shown 39th position, 3 laps down, just went another lap down, so not a good day for Steve Parks.
The car owned by Teresa Earnhardt, and Teresa Earnhardt's Chevy goes behind the wall. We'll get an update from Bill Weber when we come back. Our live coverage from Atlanta Motor Speedway continues after this. Stay with us. Speedway, our pole sitter Tim Bender apparently had some contact with the concrete. Made an unscheduled pit stop. They've changed some right side tires. The car stalled momentarily, has it now refired and headed back down pit road.
He was running the 16th position, 1 lap down, just behind the leader, Mark Martin.
And there to see where he's made contact with the front stretch retaining wall. These cars come off turns 2 and turns 4. They want to go up the racetrack and never see Todd Bodine, the 36, wanting to stay in the lead lap. Terry Labonte already a lap down. And Todd trying to stay in there. Please let me stand in front of that leader. Jason Keller also wanting to stay in front of Mark Martin. Under NASCAR rules, the caution flag comes out. The pace car picks up the leader, and all the cars in front of them get to make up a mile and a half they're behind.
That is the 12th position that Mark is just moving in on right now. Todd Bodine's car number 36 in 12th spot. Only 12 cars on the lead lap. As you said, but he just now putting the Jason Keller and Terry Labonte cars a lap down.
And Mark Martin has a 6 and 4/10 second lead on the second place car.
Labonte driving it high and hard in the corner, but no match for that car 60, just coming off the corner roaring. These are Busch Grand National race cars, 9.5 to 1 compression engines, V8s, 390 carburetors as opposed to the bigger carburetors, and the 14 to 1 compression used in Winston Cup. Those cars, of course, running here on Sunday.
There's your leader, Mark Martin, just going out of the screen. Then we'll wait and see what 6.5 seconds is back to the 38 car of Elton Sawyer. There he is. He went by our screen.
Tim Bender, the pole sitter, is back in the pits once again.
7 1/4 seconds now. Sawyer is behind. Michael Walter in 3rd, a little over 10.5 seconds. We're still waiting for Nemechek to come by, and you see he's 15 seconds behind. Bobby Labonte 18. Jeff Green almost 19. Elton Sadler a little over 20. Jeff Burton 21. 23. And Randall LaJoy 26 seconds behind the leader.
And they're turning this track in about 32 seconds, so that'll give you an idea of how far some of these cars are getting close to going a lap down.
Yeah, we see 87, the Nemechek car is more than a half lap down to the leader. We'll see Nemechek in the Bell South car. Once again, we'll try again. And we'll see that once again, Mark Martin still continues to drive away from Elton Sawyer. See Ron Bonfield, that's Bill Elliott's New Holland car.
There's Bobby Labonte and Shell Pontiac in the car number 44, showing in 5th position. 86 laps are complete, 111 to go, 197 laps to make up this 300-mile event. There's Jeff Green's car number 8 in the 26th spot.
Rick Wilson.
And the white number 29, Elliott Sadler, 21 years of age.
Got a slow car on the bottom. You're looking good, bud.
And Sadler's spotter talked to him. Tough week for Elliott Sadler and Hermie, their grandmother. In fact, the lady that Elliott was named after, Miss Annie Elliott, passed away.
All clear.
There's the 8th place car. Jeff Burton started back in 12th position. The track back in year 4. Had that great run at Richmond last week.
Next car in our running order is Jeff Fuller, the Sunoco Chevrolet, and there comes Jeff right alongside the 63 car, Tracy Presley. And Tracy in the Lysol Pontiac is nursing some rib damage, Jerry, this week?
Yeah, he hit the wall awfully hard. He didn't get an x-ray, but he firmly believes that he has at least a couple of broken ribs. He's having a hard time breathing. He's actually wearing a special device and borrowed a flak jacket from Todd Bodine to try to sustain the day. They have Larry Pearson standing by in his pit if they need a relief driver, but thus far, I guess Tracy is trying to get it out. A tough racetrack, but this track is mostly turned.
Yes, it is. There we see Randy LaJoy, the defending NASCAR Busch Series champion, also the leader in 1997 of the NASCAR Busch Series points.
Guys, our pole setter, Tim Bender, has gone behind the wall.
Look at the race record here. That was set back in 1995. And here is Mike McLaughlin sliding just past the concrete wall. And that will bring out the caution flag for the first time today. We're just about ready to tell you there had not been a caution flag. And we had a race record going. A break for Todd Bodine, who has been able to hang on right in front of the leader, Mark Martin, and not go a lap down. So now Mike McLaughlin gets the Royal Oak car righted, headed back to pit road. Carl Simmons waves the caution flag. And now, 12 cars in the lead lap. With Mark Martin as the leader, they will come around. The safety car will pick them up, as he already has done over in the backstretch. And we will see the first caution flag pit stops of the day.
And they will make pit stops, even though they've only gone about a half a pit stop run since they were in the pits.
Let's see if we can tell what happened to McLaughlin. Here he comes off the corner. Michael Waltrip on the inside. And Michael comes up and just, I think Mike tried his best to keep from hitting the 21 car. And when he did, he jumped out of the throttle. The back end comes around, and he nails the gas there to try to keep it off the wall. The roof flaps come up, do their job, keep the back end on the car. Now, the brakes, Mike, that's it. You see all 4 tires sliding, and just a little damage to the right front nose of the car.
Did a very nice job to keep that car from spinning back up across the racetrack. And here they will come down pit road. Let's go to Kyle in the Elton Sawyer pit.
Elton's in again. Change right side tires, change left side tires. I don't think they're going to make a chassis adjustment this time. He said he really hadn't run long enough on this set of tires to tell whether the original chassis adjustment that they made under green was going to help or not. Let's go to Bill and Mark Martin's pit.
Mark Martin is just a tad loose going in and a tad tight coming off. So they're just going to put 4 tires on it. He says it's like driving a sprint car in there. Just kind of feather it in and then bring it out. The 38 is down and away, and the 60 is down and away with 4 tires and fuel.
And the 21 car, we see Michael Waltrip. His crew is coming off pit road. He will come out off in 2nd place. Looks like Joe Nemechek is going to be 3rd and Elton Sawyer 4th. And then it's going to be Bobby Labonte and then the Diamond Ridge cars. Jeff Burke, Joy comes off pit road.
If you're wondering why only 12 cars were on pit road, or 13, you're only allowed to pit if you're on the lead lap the first time by. There is Michael Waltrip's car, and the 21 car, and it had some damage.
It did to the right rear. There was a little piece of, I don't know if it was plastic from the bumper or something that was hanging loose on the right rear of the car as he came down pit road. So he and McLaughlin apparently got together just a little bit out there on the racetrack, and no major damage to the Band-Aid car.
All right, working the first caution flag today here on lap number 91 due to a spin by Mike Magic Shoes McLaughlin. Back with more live coverage in a moment. Track facts are brought to you by Quaker State Motor Oil for a clean running engine.
At some of these companion events, what the Winston Cup teams can learn from the Busch race is extremely valuable on Sunday. You go to school Saturday and you race on Sunday. So what you'll find are Winston Cup crews out here on pit road looking for hints on how to run better on Sunday. For instance, Robin Pemberton, who's crew chief for Rusty Wallace, what are you doing out here in the middle of this race?
Well, now the Goodyear runs the same tire for the Busch cars and the Winston Cup cars, so it's good to get out here and do a thing on check how the wear is going and temperature, see if there's any problems for tomorrow.
What have you seen so far?
it's an awful good tire. I mean, they can go a long ways, and you know, tire wear seemed to be good on Mark Martin's car, and you know, that's all we really care about. Now we can go back and put a race setup on our Rusty's car.
Okay, and they'll come out for a happy hour. You'll see that live later on today. Kyle Petty has more.
Well, not only are the crew chiefs out here walking up and down pit road, the guys that are driving these race cars that are Winston Cup competitors are thinking about tomorrow also. Mark Martin, you think he's out there leading the race, that he's sweating this thing? Hey, he radioed his guys and said, look, the left front shock on this car is absolutely perfect. Go to the truck, build me a left front shock. He even said what it was over the radio. I'm not going to say it on the TV because I don't want these guys sitting in their trailers to find out what it is. I'm going to go build me one when all this is over with. But these guys are thinking about all this stuff to get ready for tomorrow. Bill Weber?
Okay, well, last week, Steve Park had a weekend you dream about. This one's been a nightmare. What happened to you today, Steve?
Well, Bill, the AC Delco Chevrolet Monte Carlo was running great. We had to start in the rear of the field because we tore up a car yesterday, but car was running great. The longer we went, it seemed like we were catching the leaders, and then we just popped the motor after our last pit stop. So we're a little disappointed, but, you know, the car was running great, and it gives us something to build on for next week, and we'll just have to pick up the pieces and then head on down to Las Vegas next week.
I'll see you there.
Thank you.
Green flag's out.
Thank you. Restart lap 95. That caution flag for 4 laps, the first of the day. Hopefully the last of the day. Mark Martin leads the field now. Just 12 cars on the lead lap. The field passes by will tell you that the 17 car, Tim Bender, our pole sitter, is back on the racetrack after having gone behind the wall to repair some damage when he tapped the top there earlier.
Shane Hall came in the pits in the Lux car for an unscheduled pit stop. That side of his car jacked up.
Man, look at this group of cars. About 3 abreast down in the corner. Then green and blue cars, Mark Green, Hermie Satter on the outside. Todd Bodine, Jeff Fuller. See Phil Parsons diving down, trying to make it, what is it, 3 abreast? Buckshot Jones is on the end. Now they are 3 abreast.
Oh, Dick Trickle in the middle. Buckshot on the bottom. Hermie up high. There is Phil Parsons in the car number 10. Now, guys, 4 wide won't work. Now they try to go 3 wide. That won't really work at these speeds, so they go back to double up back in turn 1.
With Shane Hall in the pits, they're pushing his car backwards now, apparently going behind the wall.
This is Stevie Reeves riding along with him, the Big A Auto Parts Ford. Right in front of them, the 33 car, Tim Fiedler. There we see him from the cameras.
Stevie Reeves is currently being shown 29, 2 laps down.
Mike Dillon in Troy Gaskin car trying to get by Stevie Reeves. There we see him 3 abreast up in the corner. And down in the corner. I don't think 3 abreast is outside. He backs off and just goes in the corner 2 abreast.
Now the 94 and 33 are for position. They are actually battling for 21st. The 94 Barfield, the 33 Fiedler. They are both a lap down, 21st spot. They are side by side. They mentioned that Reeves' car is 2 laps down. The 72 car is actually in 23rd position. So you don't stop racing no matter where you are. When you're a lap down, 2 laps down, you drive for 300 miles.
And that's the difficult thing. That's the thing that the Saturday night racers can understand when they come to this sport, just how difficult it is. Because, folks, these guys run 300 miles just like they're qualifying. Jerry, you hit it around the head. They keep racing each and every lap. If it's for 35th, you race hard for 35th.
And then Michael Waltrip hanging tough. Only about 4 car lengths back. And Mark Martin not pulling away.
Yeah, I think that Michael, the cruise panel on this car maybe is flapping around. You see there on the right rear? Yeah. I thought they pulled that off, but apparently didn't get it all off. Bill Weber?
Just talked to Ronnie Silvernet, and he said it is loose, it is flopping around, but they don't think it's going to be a problem. In fact, they're talking it over here with a NASCAR inspector now, but they don't envision it being a problem for Michael. We'll wait and see.
And that's in a pretty good spot. Would the fumes back there be a problem as opposed to, say, the front crush pedal where you get overcome with carbon monoxide?
Well, it certainly won't hurt you as bad because you're running away from that bad air that might come out from there, but you never want
a problem.
Yeah, you never want carbon monoxide to get inside the race car if you can help it.
Just past the halfway point. They gave the halfway signal a lap ago, 99. Now just 97 laps to go. Our AutoZone race recap as Mark Martin being shown as the leader. Martin in the Winn-Dixie Ford Michael Waltrip, last time he ran this race car, he finished second at Darlington. To guess who? Mark Martin. Mark Martin, our leader, has led 48 of 99 laps. There have been 6 lead changes. 1 caution flag for only 4 laps. Average speed 154.453. Our leaders, Mark Martin 49 laps. Elton Sawyer led the first 45. Mike McLaughlin led 4. Phil caution flag for the first time this year. Just for Phil and Bobby Labonte. Out of the race, Steve Park. You heard Bill talk to him. They had an engine problem on the AC Delco Chevrolet. Point here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. An exciting weekend. Beautiful weather. Great NASCAR competition as Mark Martin leads Michael Waltrip, Nemechek, Sawyer, and Bobby Labonte after 102 of 197 laps. We'll be right back. Beautiful aerial shots from high above the continuously expanding Atlanta Motor Speedway, being brought to you courtesy of the Pennzoil Copter Cab. Fine folks from Pennzoil above the racetrack here, giving you some great shots of our live coverage of the NASCAR Busch Grand National Series action.
And the lead has stayed exactly the same since we were on commercial break. Mark Martin, the black and gold car on the left, still continues to lead. Michael Waltrip, the white, red, blue car, and almost identical the same lead he had when we went to break.
Our Atlanta coverage continues later today, 3:30 p.m. Eastern time, that final 60-minute scramble. What a flurry. Organized chaos, they call it. We call it happy hour. NASCAR Winston Cup's final practice. You'll see it live at 3:30 p.m. Then tomorrow, NASCAR Today will set the stage at 12:30 p.m. Eastern time on ESPN2. Dave Despain will be here to tell you what's going to happen when we go live at 1 o'clock Eastern time on ABC Sports. Bob Jenkins, Jack Arute, all our crew will be on hand. Our live flag-to-flag coverage of the Prime Star 500 NASCAR Winston Cup event from right here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Separation pretty stable between Mark Martin and Michael Waltrip.
Michael is hanging right in there. In fact, he gains a little bit as they come off of turn 2 over there. His car seems to be working a little bit better off there than Martin's car.
Mark Martin has won the last 2 Busch Series races, having won at Rockingham. What a wild one. Rockingham, he passed Dale Jarrett on the white flag lap to win down at the Rock. And then he makes the pass again on the white flag lap out of turn 4. You saw him to win at Richmond. NASCAR Busch Series 3 consecutive wins. Well, Sam Ard, what a great one he was back in '84. Larry Pearson and Harry Gant. And if Martin can hang on, he will join that list and make it the 4th Busch Series driver to win 2 in a row.
Or if he's going to Las Vegas next week for the Busch race. He could win out there if he's going out there competing next week.
Gotta believe as much as he loves to race, he's going to be there. These are the front 2. Now the guy that's chasing them down is 87. That is Joe Nemechek. That's the South Chevrolet.
And right behind him is the outside pole sitter, Elton Sawyer. Is he the pole sitter? No, starting 3rd spot, didn't he?
Elton Sawyer in 4th position. You see him out the precision gear bumper cam outside of the back of the Nemechek Chevy. Fifth place car would be Bobby Labonte in the car number 44.
Now we'll watch as Joe Nemechek goes by the start-finish line. And he'll go down in 1. Back off the gas just a little bit. Back on the gas. And there's the new condominiums. We see the new construction that's going on here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. And that's a lap along with the 87 car of Joe Nemechek.
Seeing some drops of water on that roof cam on Joe Nemechek's Chevrolet.
Well, it's not coming out of the sky. It might be coming out of that car in front of him.
are told that some of the folks here, it's hard to believe there aren't many clouds, or hardly any clouds in the sky, but we have had some There's the only cloud. That's got to be above Dean's platform, one of our camera guys, and Dean's always had a cloud following him. And Kyle, you felt a drop or two on pit road.
I'm standing here in Joe Nemechek's pits, and there's like every few seconds there's like 2 or 3 drops that fall. I don't know where they're coming from because there's nothing up there but you guys' helicopter. So evidently they're spilling something out of the helicopter.
We'll keep you abreast. It's sunny skies here and great weather at Atlanta Motor Speedway, although we have seen some few drops falling in the last few minutes. But nothing, absolutely nothing is slowing Mark Martin down as the crews prepare for their next pit stop in a moment. Welcome you back to Atlanta Motor Speedway. Mark Martin continuing to be our leader here, starting from 13th position. He has led the last portion, good portion of this race. Only 12 cars are still on the lead lap. As we continue with our live Busch Grand National Series action from the high banks here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. You can see by our field summary where your favorite driver is running and those that are out. Only one car, that of Steve Clark. We'll be back with Atlanta after this. Speedway, Hampton, Georgia. Mark Martin was our leader, but not now. Michael Waltrip, Band-Aid Ford. Should be bandaged Ford because he has part of that crush panel just out from beneath the right rear tire, but he holds about a car length advantage.
What do you think, Mark? Just got tired of leading Ned?
Well, he sat out there, and I thought he was just running as hard as he needed to run to stay in front, but maybe Michael was running a little bit harder than he wanted to, so he just let him go. You see here, he's coming up there, a couple of car lengths behind, and all of a sudden he gets a tremendous run. Looked like Mark just pulled over and said, go ahead, you lead a while.
I mean, it looked like Mark said, well, I think I'll let Michael lead a while. He needs to get some TV time, so...
How about it, Kyle? What do you think?
Well, I've been doing this with you guys for the last year or so, year and a half. I think this is that musical interlude part where Mark Martin tries to size up his competition. We saw him do it at Rockingham. We saw him do it last week a little bit, you know what I mean? Here he is doing it now. The only guy that's able to run with him right now is Michael Waltrip. He wants to see what Michael Waltrip's got. He already knew what Elton Sawyer's got. He pulls over, he lets him lead. Next 10 or 15 laps, he'll be back out front again, guys.
From the expert, and meanwhile, what a jumble here. These are battles for position. That is 7th, 8th, and 9th on the screen.
That's the 2 and the battle for third spot, and Elton Sawyer takes that third spot over from Joe Nemechek. So put the Barbasol.
Okay, now Sawyer takes 3rd, Nemechek is 4th. How about that battle back for 7th, 8th, and 9th? Elliott Sadler, Jeff Green. Elliott Sadler, the 29 car. Jeff Green is the 8 car, and the 36 is Todd Bodine.
And the 70 is Dale Fishline, and the 10 is Phil Parsons. Fishline is back in 33rd spot, and Phil Parsons is 14th.
One lap down, Phil.
Miscue in the pits. Phil Parsons did lead a lap and came down as the leader, pitted in front of the left rear lug nuts while they were in break, and they had to back the car up and fix the lug nuts. That cost Phil Parsons a lap. He did not lose that lap on the racetrack.
Well, he's been running good while he's out on the racetrack.
Go down to Stanley Toombs' car, battling the 8 car, and that is a battle for position. That's the 8th position they're battling for.
Sadler, the other white car, the other team car for Jeff Green has moved ahead. There's Sadler now. And here is Jeff Burton, the car number 9. He is being shown in 12th position. He is the last car on the lead lap and trying to become the next to the last car on the lead lap if he can get by Jeff Fuller, but he can't quite make the pass.
Jeff Fuller, the Sunoco car, gets the run on the car, still maintains that 11th spot, and here comes Mark Martin. Checked him out now, Ned. He's ready to try to get back to the front.
Well, he's sitting there behind him about 8 or 10 laps and sees where his strengths and weaknesses are. Coming up on some time to go.
As Kyle Petty put in enough music in this interlude, we'll go ahead and go back out and lead a while. Mark Martin retakes the lead. Michael Waltrip in 2nd spot. Elton Sawyer is 3rd. Nemechek 4th. Bobby Labonte, we haven't mentioned Bobby Labonte much recently. He is in 5th position.
And right in front of those cars is also the 89 car of Johnny Chapman.
Chapman's running in 30th position, 2 laps down. And Bachman is 25th, 1 lap down, but about to go 2 laps down.
There's the battle for the lead. Let's go back and try to find the 3rd place car. There he is. Elton Sawyer. It's a Ford Dr. Keith Roberts this morning. Keith Roberts, engine builder on this car.
There's a look at Elton, and led 45 laps today. Good run for the Aikens and Sutton Motorsports Ford. Arkansas colors. Currently in 3rd spot. Joe Nemechek will be the next car in line. He's being shown in 4th spot. Bell South Mobility. His Chevrolet. Precision Gear sponsoring that roof cam. 67 laps to go here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Mark Martin was in this position a year ago, but the caution came out just after he made his pit stop, and he didn't go to victory lane. Will it happen again? We'll find out in a moment. Atlanta Motor Speedway, high-speed action. How about the information superhighway? NASCAR Online, www.nascar.com. We'll take you into the garage where you can get into the nuts and bolts of the sport with driver interviews, live chat sessions, and reports from the crew chiefs. That's NASCAR Online, www.nascar.com.
And there we see the Atlanta Motor Speedway. The new construction is going on. 37,000 new seats be available to you race fans in November when these NASCAR Winston Cup Series cars come for the final battle, final race of the 1997 season. There's our leader, black and gold car, Mark Martin, and Michael Waltrip in 2nd.
And these shots are courtesy of our Pennzoil Copter Cam high above the beautiful Atlanta Motor Speedway. Last 5 years, they have turned this into one of the show places in the NASCAR Winston Cup Tour. They've doubled the seating occupancy, 84 luxury suites, and they just don't stop. For 7th and 8th position, Elliott Sadler trying to hold off Todd Bodine. Sadler the 29. Todd Bodine, the Stanley car, number 36.
And these cars...
Good line, Elliott. You got a good run off of 2 there. Good job.
Barnwell, you're encouraging his driver once again. We saw him racing with the 8 car, Jeff Green, a few laps ago, and these fellas got by Jeff Green, and now it's kind of driven away. They caught the 5 car of Cherry Labonte. Labonte is 13th a lap down.
For you Shane Hall fans, he is back from behind the wall, headed down pit road, back on the racetrack.
Looking low inside.
Hope your car don't slide. Elliott gave him room.
Clear behind him and nobody hurt. Long way to go.
Continuously encouraging. That's the spotter's job. He's a cheerleader and an extra set of eyes.
87 and you're closing.
Randall LaJoy has gone by the 44 car of Bobby Labonte.
Randy just asked who's the next car, and he said the 87 car, Joe Nemechek.
Talking to his driver. We see Mark Martin, 168 miles per hour, and Randy LaJoy, 168.2, faster right now than is Mark Martin.
74 car, Randy LaJoy is falling back in 23rd position.
He's had a great run all day long. The car, I'm sure they've made some adjustments on it during the pit stops, and it just seems to be getting better and better.
Mark Martin once again 167.8. Let's see what LaJoy does. 167.4. So that time Mark Martin just a tick faster.
Depends on how they are in traffic and things of that nature.
Now Bobby Labonte showing some speed in his Shell Pontiac.
These drivers can change their line. They can change their entry and exit just a couple of feet. It will make a difference of a half mile per hour.
Now Mark Martin has apparently turned the wick up a little bit. He's over 168.8 miles an hour. We'll see what they picked up on on the 74 cars he comes by. 168.2, so now Martin is the quicker of the car.
Jeff Green, the 97 car. There we see Jeff Green and Mark. And Mark has caught his brother and
The handle's gone away a little bit on Jeff's car, the car number 8, the white one there.
Mark is in the car number 37, is 37 years old. Jeff Green in the car number 8 is 34. So Mark's the older brother. You have the privilege of running in front of you, and indeed they make the pass. Good run for Mark Green here at Atlanta. In fact, he has had 3 top 15 finishes in 3 starts in 1997.
Yeah, Ned, you're right. The 8 car is struggling, trying to keep up.
Have to pit again, Wes.
Yeah, when are we going to pit?
We're going to have to pit again, but he ain't making the whole way. Want to pit short? It's too early right now. Too early right now. It's just 1:43 right now.
You know they got to make one more pit stop with 54 laps to go.
Pit stop now.
Right now, yes.
Get him some new tires on that thing. But he'd be struggling worse than he is at the end of the race if he did that, because he still has more than 50 laps to go, and he hasn't run that long on this set of tires.
Oh, buddy. Stick with that 37. He burned his tires off trying to catch it. Get him.
There's our leader right there, Mark Martin, in the car number 60.
And he puts Jeff Fuller, the 47 car, a lap down. Now only 11 cars in the lead lap.
Laps are winding down here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Only one caution flag today for 4 laps due to a spin off of turn 2. Mike McLaughlin tried to avoid the car, jammed on the brakes and spun his car. Otherwise, we have had green flag racing here in the STIHL Power Tools 300.
And we see Glenn Allen out of the race, also Steve Park.
There are the laps under green. 140 of 144 laps have been run under green. That, folks, is great racing. Couldn't ask for a prettier day. Great afternoon for NASCAR Busch Series racing action here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. The sun is shining, and Mark Martin is leading. We'll be right back. Speedway, Hampton, Georgia, the STIHL Outdoor Power Tools 300. Now, Mark Martin is our leader, the Winn-Dixie Ford Thunderbird. Michael Waltrip running in second spot. Elton Sawyer is third, but the car that's continually on the move toward the front, there is Michael Waltrip in second. Elton Sawyer in third. This car right here back in fourth position. The Fina Chevrolet, Randy LaJoie, started back in 23rd spot. And just a moment ago, went by Joe Nemechek to take the 4th position.
And that is without the aid of a lot of caution flag laps. Only 4 laps they have been run on the caution flag. And he closes in on the back of Stevie Reeves. This is right along with Randy LaJoie.
He's about 13.5 seconds behind Mark Martin. He's got a long way to go to catch the lead.
There's the leader he's chasing. Car number 60, Rodney Combs, and the Lance car number 43. Now we'll let the leader go by. We'll pick up LaJoie and show you the interval that Ned was talking about.
Here comes LaJoie off turn 4, the white hood, and there he is. 165, so at that time, traffic was 2 miles per hour slower than Mark Martin. Could have been that when he passed Stevie Reeves down in turns 1 and 2, that slowed his car down.
Now there's some traffic for our leader as he's about to try to lap the car number 9, his teammate, Jeff Burton. He goes beneath Burton. Now see if we can check the 74 car.
You ever see LaJoie as he closes in on the back of Hermie Sadler? That time 167.0.
38 car with a quick lap that time. Elton Sawyer 168.544. All depends on, I guess, Ned, where you are on the racetrack. Whether you're in traffic, you got free racetrack, or whether you can run the car on your line.
Yeah, it makes a world of difference. And where you catch that traffic, and whether it's going into a turn or coming off, you see the inside of Herman Sadler there, so that'll cost him a little bit of time as Jeff Burton comes into the pits. Jarrett goes out, Dick Trickle goes out.
All right, your pit stop should be coming momentarily. We'll take a quick break and try to come back and catch the leaders' final pit stops from here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. 153 laps are complete. Laps are winding down at Atlanta Motor Speedway here at Hampton, Georgia. Mark Martin showing the way, knowing he's got one final pit stop, one scheduled stop. And here's the third place car, Elton Sawyer, in for his final stop at the Barbasol Ford Thunderbird.
Car's up, right side's going on. Also, Jeff Green is there. Right sides are on his car.
Joe Nemechek coming into the pits.
Let's check in with Kyle Petty.
Joe Nemechek's come in. They're changing right side tires and are making a chassis adjustment. He's complaining about his car getting pushy the longer he runs. They know there's only 40 laps to go. They're going to take a couple of rounds out, loosen this thing up. Hopefully he'll have a shot at beating some of the guys that he's racing with right now. He's down and gone.
All right, 3 of the cars on the lead lap. There are only 12 cars on the lead lap have pitted, but now our leader, Mark Martin, peels off, and Michael Waltrip, the top 2 cars, head down pit road, and Bill Weber, 55 miles an hour, final stop for Mark Martin.
Mark Martin has won the pole in the Busch Series. He's led every Busch race here. He's never won the Busch race. He has 2 top 10s. This will be his final scheduled stop. The Winn-Dixie Ford comes to a stop. So go around to the right side, put the right side tires on, and take a round of wedge out. Kyle Petty.
Michael Waltrip is coming to pit. They've changed right sides. They've changed left sides. They're putting a Band-Aid on his other side over there where his clutch panel's out. Basic stop, no chassis adjustments. He feels the car's good. Bill?
Lefts are on, Mark's away. Michael Waltrip is behind him. So Martin wins the race off pit road. Let's see now who wins the race on the track.
And we see Brandon LaJoy sitting in there. Right side's going on his car. The crew's going around, changing left sides. We see Bobby right behind him. That is a battle for position.
Both those cars are on the lead lap. Tires are on, both cars off the jack, and they simultaneously peel away. They must stay down below that white line until they are over between turns 1 and 2 to get back up to speed and blend into race traffic.
Okay, you're clear. Got one car coming, white with a yellow back.
There we see the 36 car, Todd Bodine was leader, but Buckshot Jones is in front of him now. If the caution should come out, Buckshot would be back on the lead lap. That 00 car, Buckshot, has been running awfully well here this afternoon.
Todd Bodine being shown as the leader in the car number 36, the Stanley Pontiac Grand Prix. He has yet to pit. He will come in momentarily for his final pit stop as he slows and will head down pit road. Car number 29 of Elliott Sadler will come on the pit road. The 21-year-old driver from Emporia, Virginia. Here is Sadler in the car 29.
Now this should complete the cycle as far as those on the lead lap, I believe, Jerry.
Peel that tearaway windshield away so they can see how Todd Bodine's Stanley Pontiac right side tires already have it going on. And Sadler's in front of you, Bill Weber.
Elliott Sadler had never raced here before today. Started on the outside of the front row, now making his final stop. Right sides are on, fuel going in, come around to the left side. A tribute to his grandmother who passed away this week is on the left side of the car. Elliott would love a great finish for her and for the team. Now Elliott having trouble getting it back in gear. The car's going to have to be pushed by the team. Then he stalls it. Now he tries to get it refired. Rolling slowly down pit road. Then the tires grip and Elliott rolls away. Out on the precious seconds.
You know, you get in the pits and you become so relaxed in there, you forget to put the car in gear. That's what it sounded like happened to Elliott Sadler. He's sitting there with the car in neutral. When the jack went down, he said, I got to go. He lets the clutch out, and the car isn't in gear.
Clear.
All right, spotter said jump in there behind Mark Green, and indeed he did. And Mark Martin, once once again being shown at the point here of the field. Martin trying to go for 3 wins in a row in the Busch Series.
And he just put a lap on Jeff Green. In fact, they're showing on the 10 cars on the lead lap now. So Martin.
Oh, we got a spin up in the second corner. Looks like Elton Sawyer looked to me like, and another car comes down and collects him. It's Stanton Barrett.
Stanton Barrett's car number 81, the Ron Neal-owned machine, just after the pit stops.
And a great break for Phil Parsons. He had not, and Buckshot Jones, neither of those cars had pitted. And who is the car? Zoom in on the car on the right.
Looks like Tracy Leslie's car number 63.
I'm sorry, I said
yeah, that's the Lysol Pontiac, and Leslie, the one guy, no one wanted to hit anything, but Leslie with those broken ribs on the right side wanted to hit nothing today. Watch again.
There's Mike McLaughlin and Mark Green going by. Stanton Barrett sees the car spinning. He spins and bam, spins in the side of Tracy Leslie. And I'm sorry, it was not Elton Sawyer. It was Tracy Leslie I saw spin up there.
And from the Pennzoil copter cam high above, you see the impact. Fortunately, it was to the rear of the Pontiac, not the door section where Stanton Barrett. Now, Stanton just locked it down, trying to miss Tracy Leslie's car, which had come to rest right on the bottom groove because Barrett was running on the inside with 2 cars to his outside. There's what's left of the Lysol Pontiac for Tracy Leslie.
I believe we see Tracy moving around in there a little bit.
Yes, I saw him moving around a little bit ago. Yeah, we see him.
And Benny, you're right. That was a break for Phil Parsons, Buckshot Jones, and Tim Fedowa.
Yes.
They were all a lap down, and now they're back in the lead lap. They had not made their green flag pit stops.
All right, so we're under caution for the second time today here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Lap 165, and the crews are anxious and watching and waiting for their drivers. We'll be right back. Our Speed World coverage of the NASCAR Busch Grand National STIHL Outdoor Power Tools 300 is being brought to you by the more than 1,500 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. And by Haviland Formula 3 Motor Oil. Add more life to your car. Last car on the lead lap under caution. Nothing to lose here. Jeff Green in the pits will take on fresh rubber right and left side. Big break. You were talking about it a moment ago, Ned and Benny, for that car right there in the number 10 as well as the 00.
And 33, Tim Fedowa. All 3 of those cars running right together. The 00, the 10, and the 33. They were a lap down, but running well. They stayed on the racetrack after all the pit stops were being made, trying to catch that break. That big break they need, and boom, Tracy Leslie spins and the caution comes out, and we see, and Buckshot, one of the fastest cars on the racetrack. We did not have him on our speed chart because he was back out of the top 10, but that Aqua Fresh car, Pontiac, was running well.
Buckshot Jones from nearby Monticello, Georgia. Went to Tucker High School just outside of Atlanta. Went to the University of Georgia. Got a degree in business. Good break for them. How about it, Bill Weber?
Well, maybe a little bit of bad news for Phil Parsons. He was on pit road, I believe, when that caution came out, and now he will go to the end of the longest line for too fast exiting pit road, trying to get back out before he got caught on pit road. So he goes to the end of the longest line, too fast on the exit for Phil on the 10 car.
Well, that was a tough break, but at least he's back in the lead lap. If we can get another caution flag, then it will break. Then he'll get a break.
Well, second caution flag today. 166 laps are in the books. Mark Martin is our leader. Back with more live coverage in a moment. Brand new grandstands here. They continue to revamp Atlanta Motor Speedway. What a beautiful complex. One of the show places on the NASCAR Winston Cup Tour. But what they've done the last 5 years here, doubled the attendance, added all the suites.
And folks, when we come back, the start-finish line will be on the other side of the racetrack. What you're seeing there will now, that is the backstretch currently, will be the front stretch, and this racetrack will be shaped very similar to the Charlotte Motor Speedway, the double dogleg front straightaway like Charlotte. So the Atlanta Motor Speedway will lose its unique oval shape.
It'll go from being a 1.522 mile oval to a 1.54 mile quad oval. Now, while we're under caution here, the incident in turn 2 involving the Tracy Leslie car and Stanton Barrett.
Tracy Leslie has backed his car in the corner already. The Lysol Pontiac has backed in the corner. Stanton Barrett sees the problem. He backs off, and boom, he spins into the back of the 63 car as well.
Both cars coming to rest. Both drivers have climbed in the ambulance to go to the mandatory infield care center for a check. But the good news, even though Tracy Leslie was having some concern over ribs prior to the race today, he got out of the car, walked away, climbed in the ambulance, as did Stanton Barrett. Still a lot of action to come your way later today, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN2. Our live coverage of Happy Hour. We call it Happy Hour. It is organized chaos in the NASCAR Winston Cup garage area. Well, they sling springs and shocks and try to decide what they're going to do in the final 60 minutes of practice. And then tomorrow, we will set the stage. Dave Despain and company, NASCAR Today, live at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time on the Deuce. What are we setting the stage for? Well, our live flag-to-flag coverage on ABC Sports. The Prime Star 500. Bob Jenkins will join us. Jack Arute will join us. All of our crew tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern Time on ABC. Now Mark Martin trying to hang on, put himself in the record books once again. Trying to win 3 in a row. That beautiful shot courtesy of the fine folks from Pennzoil and our Pennzoil Copter Cam. High above the Atlanta Motor Speedway. We're in Hampton, Georgia, just southeast of Atlanta. Great shot from above this beautiful facility.
I'm sorry, as you see the cars getting ready for the restart.
10 cars on the lead lap. There are Martin, Michael Walter, Elton Sawyer, Joe Nemechek, Bobby Labonte,
Randy LaJoie, Todd Bodine, Buckshot, Tim Feedwell, Bill Parsons. That's the 10 cars.
All right, guys, can anybody hang with Mark Martin?
I don't think so. I don't think so either. Oh.
Well, Kyle, what do you think?
I'm not sure anybody's got anything for Mark Martin ever. Just to be totally honest with you, after watching his performance today and him at Rockingham and this Roush Racing Ford stuff, I think, you know, this may be it. Michael said that his car was a little bit loose on this set of tires that they just put on, but he didn't want to give it up track position, and that's basically where everybody's at. They're stuck with whatever they got in the green.
How about you, Bill Weber?
Well, they loosened Mark cars up just a tad on the last pit stop in case Michael starts to apply the pressure. Same car Mark had here last year, could have won, but it got trapped by that caution flag. Mark's in pretty good shape. And by the way, he doesn't plan to go to Las Vegas. At least that was the plan before this race. But, you know, the lure of 4 in a row, maybe. Green flag about to come out.
All right, we'll see. You've heard from the experts. You decide. Can Mark Martin hang on? Restart lap 171. Last caution flag for 6 laps.
And we see Elton Sawyer and Buckshot goes by Jeff Green, and Buckshot's on the inside of Todd Bodine. Meanwhile, back to the front as Dick. There we see Buckshot, the 36 car, and now Jeff Green trying to get on the inside. In field with the 33 car. He's in the mix. Jeff Fuller's there.
Oh, they were 3 wide momentarily with Feedaway in the middle.
There's Jimmy Foster, the 11 car. Elton Sawyer trying to get on the inside of Elliott Sadler. Too many E's here for me.
Yeah, Elliott's a lap down in 11th position.
And Nemechek in the 87 car. That's the roof cam right behind Elton Sawyer. 26 laps to go. Martin, Waltrip, Sawyer, Nemechek. You're riding along with Nemechek. Bobby Labonte just to the right of Joe Nemechek.
I didn't realize that Elliott Sadler had lost a lap, but when he made his pit stop, he got a lap.
Clear behind the 44 if you want to get there.
And 44, of course, is Bobby Labonte.
Labonte in 4th place. Now Nemechek in 5th. Behind them, LaJoie. These are the guys they're chasing. Left side of your screen. Mark Martin is the leader in the car 60. Michael Waltrip in 2nd spot. Here comes the lap car of Dick Trickle.
And Buckshot on the inside of Randy LaJoie. There's a 0-0. Buckshot goes in the corner, has position on LaJoie. That's a battle for 6th.
Buckshot Jones and LaJoie. Young man sort of silent most of the day, got his lap back, and now is driving the race of his life here at his home racetrack at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Looks like he may be in front. Now here comes LaJoy back. And they're 3 abreast there. Tim Feedle in the middle. Mark Green.
Mark will have to be back out of that field. Mark Green.
Yeah. He said, that don't look too smart to me.
We're watching battles back in the traffic because Mark Martin has about an 8-car length lead over Michael Waltrip for the second position.
And Buckshot once again. He's trying. Corner clear high. And he takes the spot away from LaJoy. Now Todd Bodine comes in. And there goes Todd Bodine. He goes by LaJoy. LaJoy's starting in. Not right now.
Well, I think this car is better on the long run. I think he needs to run 30 or so laps before it really comes in for him.
We told you top of the show that the Busch Series is arguably the most competitive of the 11 touring divisions of NASCAR. How can you argue with that? Great racing here in the closing laps at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Again, too wide off of turn 4.
And Feedle goes by LaJoy. Here comes Jeff Green. And looks like Michael might be closing it just a little bit on Mark Martin.
Continue to watch this battle back in the pack. Number 74 up on the outside. It's just that car is not hooked up the way it was. No, for sure.
Let's see, Buckshot right now is the fastest car on the racetrack. A little over 173 miles per hour.
Clear behind. Fall behind.
And LaJoy continuing the slow, having his troubles with his car. He is passed again by the 9 car, and the 9 car is a lap down. LaJoy is the last car on the lead lap.
Now, Phil Parsons can still, he had to start at the tail end of the longest line, so he right now is behind LaJoy.
Clear behind 88.
Less than 20 laps to go. Mark Martin holding the advantage. About 7 car lengths. Michael Waltrip a little bit, but then Mark sort of looks up and then pulls away.
Well, you wonder if Mark is running just as fast as he has to stay out there. Will it let him pass him again? I don't know. Maybe this close to the end of the race. Might not do that. Might not let him pass.
See Jeff Purvis, the 4 car. And Randy LaJoy is in the pit.
Here he comes down pit road, back and forth, weaving the car. And the car weaving. Bill, what's the problem?
Randy has reported a very bad vibration, may have a tire going down. This track has bit him 3 times, and it's going to get him again today. He runs well here, but cannot finish well here. Of course, they had those problems last week, salvaging an 8th finish, putting the right side tires on. They come around, they're going to eyeball the left first. They're going to send him back out and hope that's the problem. We'll see.
Randy LaJoy's woes continue.
Okay, you're clear, but the 34th next car coming. The big hole after him.
His best finish had been a 9th.
Looky here. Michael Waltrip once again closes in ever so close. And it looks like these cars are almost identical in speed.
Right now, they look very equal. They're out by themselves on the racetrack. No one close to them, front or rear.
Michael Waltrip told me the last time he had driven this particular race car, he drove and finished second to Mark Martin. 2 Ford Thunderbirds. Both of them have Roush engines on board. Mark Martin the leader. Michael Waltrip in second spot. 18 laps remain. See on our field summary, just 9 cars are on the lead lap, with Phil Parsons, the last car, on the lead lap in 9th position.
And there we see the battle for 3rd spot. There we see Sawyer. Sadler, he's a lap down. The 44 car. Up bottom of the body, and here comes Buckshot Jones. Aqua Fresh car trying to close in.
Here comes Michael Waltrip trying to close in too. Oh, Mark Martin inching up there ever so close.
Well, there was 8 car lengths 2 laps ago. Now it's less than 3.
Buckshot made a bid there. Couldn't get by Bobby Labonte. Bobby running fourth. Buckshot running fifth.
Great racing all over this 1.522-mile high bank facility in Hampton, Georgia.
Pair of Pontiacs. Bobby Labonte and Buckshot.
I heard a song last night, Ned, about Buckshot Jones. There's a line in there that said he does things that makes Benny Parsons scream, and he has today.
All right.
Okay, let's check back in the Randy LaJoie pits with Bill Weber.
Okay, this is the right rear tire of Randy LaJoie Chevrolet. You can see right here where the lug nuts go on and the the wheel fits on the car. These holes have been rounded out. They've been grounded out. The lug nuts apparently were not tight. This was the vibration on Randy LaJoie's car that forced him to pit.
And I tell you, that unscheduled pit stop is really going to close up the point standings in the NASCAR Busch Series, man.
Yes, it will. In fact, Phil Parsons could very easily take over the point standings.
Well, Todd Bodine is second.
Yes, that's right.
He's in 7th spot right now, just 25 points back. So it's going to be virtually a dead heat in the standings if they finish the way they're running right now.
Because Randy LaJoie has dropped to 17th, 1 lap down.
Riding along with Joe Nemechek, the precision gear roof cam on top of his Bell South Chevy. Nemechek in 6th position.
That's the battle for 4th spot. Directly in front of him, Buckshot, the 00, is in 4th. In 5th, and the 44 of Labonte is in 4th. There they are.
That is Elliott Sadler's lap car, number 29. Sadler's in 10th spot, a lap down.
Looking low, inside.
Spotters talking to their drivers. Michael making a look. Inside, outside. He will follow Mark Martin around the car number 70 of Dale Fischlein.
And Carl Simmons giving the signal. Feel the signal 10 to go, but these guys now have a signal 9 to go.
Michael Waltrip, 7 career Busch Series wins. As you saw his last one coming in Charlotte back in May of 1993, 34 races ago.
Coming up on a little bit of traffic. They're the fast one car. They got 2 more in front of them happening off turn 4.
And Mark goes on the inside of Doug Reed, and then Doug Reed might be what he's looking for to claim that victory. But Michael Waltrip dives down to the inside and still keeps the lead about the same.
My heavens, at the line, 170.299 miles an hour from Mark Martin. With 189 laps complete, he is running laps over 170 miles an hour.
All day.
He's going to have to, because right behind him is Michael Waltrip running 169.5. And once again, Buckshot takes a look.
He's really been working on Bobby Labonte.
Bobby Labonte in the car number 44. Buckshot Jones, 26 years of age, from Monticello, Georgia. His dad Billy owns the car. And Michael Waltrip suddenly slows on the racetrack.
Oh, what a tough break. Into the pits he is.
I wonder if he cut a tire, if there's an engine problem. You see some of that sheet metal. There's Steve Neal talking to Mark Martin. He's the team manager for the Valvoline Winston Cup team. There's that panel on the right rear. Looks more like a parachute sticking out there on the right side of the Band-Aid. Kyle, what's the problem?
Nobody said anything. They've come in. They've gone to the right side. They're changing right side tires. Obviously, they're working on the right rear a little bit. You can see it from this side of the car. Trying to get it back in. He's off and gone.
What a tough break for Michael Waltrip. A great run today in that Band-Aid Ford. A great run for Michael.
Carl Simmons signaling 5 laps to go. We are still on a record pace. Only 2 caution flags today. And the record speed over 151 miles an hour. The average to the race record 145. 7 set by Johnny Benson when he won here back in the spring of 1995.
Martin has a big lead now over Elton Sawyer, who is in second place. Bobby Labonte moved up to third, Buckshot to fourth, and Joe Nemechek to fifth after Michael Waltrip made his pit stop.
4 laps to go. Talking about records, Mark Martin trying to put himself in the Busch Series record book as one of only 4 drivers to win 3 in a row. Won at Rockingham. Made a dramatic pass of Dale Jarrett on the white flag lap. He took the lead coming for the checkered flag last week at Richmond. But he has not backed into this one. He has dominated today here at Atlanta.
And right now, looks like Buckshot Jones is falling back in the clutches of Joe Nemechek. You ever see the 0-0 car? A moment ago, he was right on the back bumper of Bobby Labonte, but right now, he's right in front of Nemechek. Never see the 0-0 South Carolina.
Might have used his tires up a little bit when he was racing Bobby Labonte so hard there, but he decided to conserve this 4th place.
Did he win the race in Milwaukee last year, man?
He did indeed. Scores an only win in NASCAR Busch Grand National Competition.
Well, Carl Simmons will wave the white flag to that man right there, who started 13th, 38-year-old Mark Martin out of Batesville, Arkansas. 2 laps to go. It'll be 1 this time by. The white flag waves. Elton Sawyer is second. Bobby Labonte third. Buckshot is fourth. Nemechek fifth. Todd Bodine sixth. Fido is seventh. Phil Parsons is eighth. Those 8 cars on the lead lap.
Never seen Mark Martin. No one to race now. His only job is to get this car back to the start-finish line. As he goes by the pole center Ken Bender, he comes off turn 4, and Simmons waves the checkered flag. 3rd victory in a row for Mark Martin.
Buckshot makes a move down underneath Bobby Labonte. Can't quite get it. So it'll be Labonte, then Buckshot Jones, then Nemechek. In that on 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Let's go down to Kyle Petty.
Well, Bobby, you did it again. I mean, every time I come to a Busch race, every time I'm doing this stuff, I'm standing here talking to you when the race is over with. Incredible run. You guys dominated today.
Yeah, Michael's car was a little bit better down there in turn 3. We were kind of worried. I guess he had a flat there at the end, but we've been pretty lucky the last 3 weeks. I need to say hello to my little girl, Megan. She's back home in North Carolina. She's been sick all week. She don't think I think of her, but I'll be home in a couple of days.
Are you guys going to Las Vegas and try to make it 4 in a row here?
As lucky as we've been, I think we need to go.
I'm on the plane with them, guys. Congratulations, Bobby.
All right, there's the winner right there, Mark Martin, as he stops at the end of pit road, and they check the spoilers on the Busch cars. And how about our new Busch Series points leader? That is Todd Bodine with an impressive 6th place finish today. Todd will take over the point lead because Randy LaJoie finished in 16th, 1 lap down. We'll come back and hear from Mark Martin after this. Back at Atlanta Motor Speedway, Mark Martin gets a big swig of Gatorade on a warm afternoon. Sunny skies, got the glasses on, and he climbs out to celebrate his win.
And a big smile, a big thumbs up. Congratulations. 3 in a row. Very impressive feat, very impressive day.
Man, I tell you what, we just got luck on our side. We had a good race car today, better than we probably had for sure at Richmond. I thought Michael had me in his sights, man. His car was really good for about 30 laps on tires, and darn if the caution didn't come out right there, 30 to go, and he was going to give us a run for it. Looked like he must have had a flat or something, but he was getting right up on me and pushing me really hard. You know, it feels good to win with this thing. I wish we get some luck like this tomorrow.
Maybe you will, because maybe your luck's changing, Mark, because you've run so well here at Atlanta in the Busch car, but you've never gotten to victory lane here until today.
Yeah, that's true. Things worked out in our favor today. We had a good car. Michael Waltrip, sure enough, had a good car. We knew it all day. He finally got up to us, and he was running us hard. He had a good shot at it. I was on my toes, believe me.
That's 29 Busch Series wins, looking at the record of 31.
We're going for it this year. I hope we can keep it going.
Want to go to Vegas next week?
No, I'm going to be on the couch watching you guys work.
Okay, Mark Martin's working in victory lane right now, the winner in the STIHL 300 at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
All right, Bill, thank you. Mark becomes the 4th Busch driver to three-peat. 3 consecutive wins, joins an impressive group with Sam Ard, Larry Pearson, Harry Gant, and Mark Martin now winning 3 in a row here in 1997. Now, we told you at 3:30 we would come on with our coverage of Happy Hour. We're going to stay here with bonus coverage of the Busch Series event. We're not going anywhere. We're going to stay here, and we'll have Happy Hour coming up at 3:30, that final 60 minutes, that wild scramble in the garage, what we call Happy Hour. It's organized chaos. And, then, of course, tomorrow, NASCAR Today, live at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Dave Despain will set the stage. And then at 1 o'clock, Bob Jenkins, Jack Arute, the entire crowd will be on hand for our live flag-to-flag coverage of the Prime Star 500 NASCAR Winston Cup race from here at beautiful Atlanta Motor Speedway. Back with more bonus coverage of Busch Series action in a moment. Back under sunny skies here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, Hampton, Georgia. The STIHL Outdoor Power Tools 300 is history, and Mark Martin has won his 3rd in a row in 1997. Great crowd on hand as the celebration continues down there in Victory Lane. Mark and the Winn-Dixie crew celebrating. And now Bob Jenkins, our host for Winston Cup action on Sunday, joins us. And Bob, I'm going to let you cover the bonus action here in Busch Series. I'm going to head downstairs and get ready for that scramble, what we call Happy Hour.
Okay, good job on the Busch race as Mark Martin drives to another victory. And now let's talk to the driver who finished in 4th position, Buckshot Jones.
Thank you, Robert. Little home cooking, Buckshot, here in Atlanta. Big race for you, great finish.
Yeah, it is. It's always good to come back here to your home track and run good. I was a little worried there at the beginning of the race because, you know, our car wasn't exactly right, but, you know, Ricky just kept saying, be patient, we'll work on it. And every time we come in, we worked on it, and it got a little bit better. But, you know, my hat's off, you know, to my crew today. I mean, they're the ones that got this car ready and got it running as good as they did. And, you know, I want to thank our sponsors, Aquapress, Keeber, Entanglement, and Crown Fiber Communications. You know, without their support, you know, we wouldn't be able to be out here. But, you know, I guess I just like to say hey to all my friends here in Atlanta and all our fans.
A door-to-door battle with Bobby Labonte in the closing laps.
Yeah, you know, everywhere I try to get high or low under Bobby, it made our car push. But, you know, heck, we'll take the 4th place. But, you know, it's better than coming home with a wrecked car. But, you know, we're looking forward to the rest of the season. You know, we really got good motors from B&R. They build the best motors, so we're looking forward to the rest of this season with them.
All right, congratulations on today.
Thanks a lot.
That's Buckshot Jones. I'm going for Elton Sawyer here in a second.
A young man who has a bright racing future ahead of him, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. He has looked impressive not only today, but in a lot of races. And I think he's got his head on right, and his attitude is good, has a good race car and a good race team.
And Bill now is with Elton Sawyer, who finished 2nd.
Yeah, you could. Well, a big smile. This is the one you've been waiting for. This team has really battled. You were in the top 10 in points, but you came home 2nd today. Congratulations.
Well, thanks, Bill. I appreciate it. I'm just very fortunate to be with an awful good race team. We sat down this winter, and every individual, they're very focused on what we're doing, and I don't want to be the weak link, so I've had to bump it up, too. And the engine, I mean, Keith Roberts did a great job. Bob and Eddie did a great job with the car. Pit stops were awesome. We weren't going to beat Mark or Michael. Michael had a little trouble at the end, and at least we could see Mark at the end. I mean, that's an accomplishment. He's just awful good. And,
well, he couldn't see you at the beginning. You led, what, the first 40-plus laps like a rocket.
Well, it's amazing what you can do when you're a little scared. I ran as hard as I could. I wanted to get away from him, and then Bob said, well, you know, Mark's coming. And I said, well, that had surprised me, and that's all we had. But it was a good day for the Barbasol Ford.
Yeah, no pressure. Brad Akins, one of your co-car owner, has a car dealership about 75 miles from here in Widener, Georgia, and he only brought 250 members of his shop and their families here today.
Yeah, we really appreciate all the guys in Widener and everybody at the dealership. They do a great job. Really support the race team, and it was nice to be able to have a good day for them, and hopefully they can brag about it for a week or so.
Good luck in Las Vegas.
Thanks a lot, Bill.
Elton Sawyer, 2nd here in Atlanta.
And let's take a look at the unofficial results here. With 10 cars, make that 8 cars finishing on the lead lap. And Phil Parsons did a great job driving from the 26th starting position to an 8th place finish. But Tim Fidoa started 35th and finished in 7th spot. So some good runs from the middle and back of the pack there for a couple of drivers. Now here's 16 through 30.
And there we see the points leader, LaJoy, back in 16th. Mike McLaughlin, who brought up the first caution flag, in 17th. And Dick Triple started up in the 4th spot and will finish back in 18th. And as we look back,
and you see cars that had troubles of one sort or another that finished 6, 7, 9 laps behind. These drivers were out there, most of them out there running, but had problems of one sort or another during the day. You're actually on to see, 4 cars there that were listed as out of the race.
Now let's take a look at the point standings at the conclusion of this event. Todd Bodine leads, but by just 10 over the defending series champion Randy LaJoy, with Martin in 3rd, Parsons 4th, Elton Sawyer 5th. Buckshot Jones only 77 points behind, then Mark Green, Elliott Sadler, Jeff Green, and Tim Fedewa, the top 10 in NASCAR Busch points. Let's go down now to Dave Despain, who is going to preview Winston Cup Happy Hour coming up momentarily. Dave?
Thanks, Bob. We're in the Winston Cup garage area here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and guess what? No cars. Why? Well, because the cars are right over here, all lined up, actually both directions, that way too, down toward turn 4, lined up in anticipation of 200-mile-an-hour speeds. Yes, they do touch that 200-mile-an-hour mark here at the fastest parts of Atlanta Motor Speedway. But that quiet garage area will not stay that way very long. In a matter of minutes, the parts are going to be flying. The crews are going to be sweating bullets, working hard, because to run that kind of speed, you want a very comfortable setup. And more than that, you've got to have a setup that's good for 500 miles. They get 1 hour to accomplish that setup. We call it happy hour, and it's an interesting hour to cover. It is the final preparation for the big race here tomorrow, and for a lot of these crews and teams, well, there's a little bit of tension in the air right now. I'm debating whether to go over there and interrupt Jeff Bodine, who's had a pretty good season going there. That's Pat Trice and his new crew chief with whom he's talking. I think I'll just let them do their work right now, because this, oh, look, he's not nervous here. I was going to cut you some slack and leave you alone and telling everybody how busy and focused and nervous you are. And you look like you're ready to go out for a little Sunday drive.
Give me that microphone. I'm not nervous at all. I can handle anything. No, we're anxious to get out.
Yeah, let me just stop you just a second. You can have my microphone, but don't make me take that steering wheel, okay?
I would never offer that, I'll tell you that. I've seen you drive go-karts.
You ready?
Well, we'll see. You know, we had a pretty good morning practice, so we learned a lot, and but we're lined up here at the front of the line, if you notice, to get on the track first, so we get every possible lap out there we can in this last run.
It's critically important to get all the time you can, and the momentum is really with you guys. That was a terrific performance at Richmond, and it's been a great season for this team.
It really has. We're excited about everything, all the races. But that momentum at Richmond, I think it's back there. This is a different track, faster, you know, altogether different. You have to build the momentum as you're here at the track, and we did. We qualified 8th, practicing good, so that's the momentum we need right here.
There's a guy who knows the #1 rule in racing, and that is what you did last year doesn't count for much. Let me just turn around here and get a quick word with the crew chief, because really the focus of happy hour is these guys. Pat Trice, congratulations on all the success so far. What are you going to work on for the next hour?
Well, try to get him a little better getting in, and try to get him better getting off. Everybody think they have the same problem right now. Everybody's a little loose in and tight off, so we're going to try to get ours so we're real good in and real good off.
All right, good luck. Maybe we'll get a chance to talk to you in the next hour. Meanwhile, let's go back to Bill Weber.
Okay, with Elliott Sadler in a real strong finish for you, and you were just saying this is nothing more than a big South Boston, just a little quicker.
That's right. I was scared to death of this place, so we got here and tested and qualified and run good in the race. And like you're right, it's a big South Boston there. Just a little bit more speed, not much, but we did what we wanted to do. Well, I told you this morning we wanted to run every lap we could and take the checkered flag, and the car's in one piece, so the guys are thankful for that. They don't have to fix this one, but we'll just move on to Vegas now, another top 10, and we just keep punching away at these points here.
So you actually did what you told the reporter? You told us the truth?
Exactly, for the first time ever. But that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to finish the race and run every lap we can, gain as much experience, and we did that. We knew we were going to be a little tight, and we were all day long, a little tight, but hey, a good run for the Diamond Ridge crew.
Briefly tell the story about following Mark Martin in practice.
Following Mark Martin, that's unreal.
I really never knew what kind of pace I should set, and I got in there and practiced behind him, and I about wrecked 3 or 4 times trying to keep up with him, but that set me a pace that I knew I need to run. Then when I got out there by myself, I knew I wasn't pushing the car as hard as I should, but it helped getting behind him. I knew where I needed to run at and how hard, and it helped to set up the car for the day.
So were you following Elton there at the beginning of the race in his line?
Exactly, just trying to do the same thing he was doing. His line's a little different from Mark's, but just trying to learn from them guys as much as they can. They're helping me whether they like it or whether they know it or not. The guys are helping me a lot, and just trying to learn what I can, and we'll see you in Vegas next week.
Are you old enough to go to Las Vegas?
I don't think so. I gotta get a special permission from my mom and dad.
Okay, bring a note. We'll see you there.
Okay, thank you, Will.
Elliott Sadler, another great finish.
9th place in today's 300-mile Busch Grand National race.
I tell you, that guy is going to be okay in this business.
Yes, he is.
There, ladies and gentlemen, is the pole sitter for tomorrow's Prime Star 500 here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And coming up next, their final opportunity to dial the cars in for tomorrow's race. It's called Happy Hour as we continue our coverage from Atlanta here on ESPN2.